This is the Roulette Master, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe by hitting the red subscribe button in the lower right hand corner. Also ring that bell for notifications because I have new content releasing every single day of the week at 8 a.m. And for today's system, I had some emails from some of you asking me if I'm still using the Joe and Barnes system because I was using that in Vegas and haven't talked about it much lately. And yes, I have still been using that as well. And I also told you I've been using the Greatest Roulette system ×2, and that's true as well. So for those of you that haven't seen the Joe and Barnes system, with a little modification that I made, I'm going to go ahead and show you what that is. And I don't use for those of you that saw the original, I don't use the part 2 where you would try to retrieve everything really quickly after a single loss. But let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how I use it. And we're going to use $10 on first and second 12. If we hit third 12 or 0, we're going to sit out. But if we win, we just keep going. What that does is it allows you to never lose on a streak of third 12s or 0s, and that's the only way that you can have consecutive losses is to hit third 12 or 0. So that's pretty cool. Now we're up 20. The way that you can lose with this is if you go back and forth with third 12, not third 12, third 12, not third 12. And I'll show you what to do when that happens. You just basically start increasing by 2 units each time after you sit out. But we'll go over that. There's a loss, so you can see it. And now we sit out until we don't hit a third 12 or a 0. Okay, we didn't hit one. So that means it's time to increase to 30. Right. In the original system, it only increased by 1 unit. I modified it to 2, but you can use that as well. Okay, and it's testing us because what I said just happened. It went from third 12 to not third 12 to back to third 12. So we lost again, and that means we sit out. But instead of 30, the next one will be 50. And then we need to reach an all-time high before we start over. I'll go over that as well. So now instead of 30, we're at 50. Okay, we got the win. Let's see if we're at an all-time high. We're back to 0, so we can actually, no, we were up more than that, so that means we have to get one more win. You can play it either way. You can play it to where anytime you're in profit, you restart, or if you are at an all-time high, that you have to get back to where you were before you restart. And that's how you can accumulate wins faster. Obviously, it's safer if you play when you're in any profit, you start over. But I've been playing it where you have to get back to where you were profit-wise. So we're going to go again. And we lost again. So again, that's the worst case scenario. We're at minus 100. And now we have to go from 50 to 70, but first we have to sit out until we don't hit third 12 or 0. So we're ready to bet again. And let's go to 70. And we're definitely going to need more than one win, but eventually you will get consecutive wins. It just takes patience and a good startup fund. So you can see we're still minus 30, so we're going to rebet and try to get another win. If we lose, we're going to sit out and then go to 90. And we did lose. We hit 0. Again, worst case scenario. So sometimes it's really good to see what happens when things go really poorly. And they're going really poorly today. So this is good. So you can see how to climb yourself out of a hole. And let's spin again until we don't hit a third 12 or 0. Then we'll go from 70 to 90. Okay. It's time to go. So, and I usually use a $1,500 startup with this. And if that's too much, you can adjust your starting amount depending if you're playing online or automated or on a table. Okay, absolutely worst case scenario. We keep going back and forth. We're minus 350, so the next one's going to be 110. Let's see if we can climb out of this hole. This will be a good experiment here. Okay, so it's time to bet again. We're going to 110. But eventually you're going to get some consecutive wins. That's what we're waiting for. Okay, we got one win. So we see if we're at an all-time high, and we're not. We're minus 240. So we just rebet. And if we were to lose one of these, we'd go to 130 for the next bet. But we got another win. And this is what we've been waiting for. Now we're minus 130, so we rebet it again. What we're looking is for consecutive spins that don't hit third 12. And we're finally getting them. Okay, and we're still not there. So we got to do one more. But again, if we had lost one of these, we'd sit out and then go to 130. And we just lost again. So now we got to go to 130, but we sit out first. This has been quite a test today. I'm glad you guys can see what happens when this system goes bad, so that you realize how important the startup fund is and all that. We're minus 240 right now. Oh, and another loss. Okay. So we go to 150 next after we sit out. Again, we're waiting for consecutive spins that are not third 12, and that just saved us there by sitting out, as you can see, which is something else I wanted to point out today. If you have 8 third 12s in a row, only 7 of them are going to hurt you. What's been hurting us is the back and forth. So now it's time to bet again. We're at 150. And we need some consecutive spins that are not third 12 or 0. Okay, there's one. And we're minus 350, so now we bet again until we get back to an all-time high. But we lost again, so now we're going to 170. Wow. Minus 650 total. Okay. See another third 12, but that one didn't hurt us. Now we're going to spin again. Okay, now it's time to bet again. So you're seeing pretty much the worst case scenario here. And let's see if we can climb our way out of it. Wow, it's really going bad. Okay, so we're minus 990. We have about 600 left in our startup fund right now. Sorry for the pop-up. So, spin without betting. Okay, now it's time to go, and I'm feeling a good streak coming here. So now we go from 170 to 190 and have positive thoughts here. Let's see if we can get some in a row here. Okay, we got one. We're still minus 800. Okay, we got another. I've been waiting for a streak like this, so let's see if we can keep it going. Uh-oh, that's not good. So the next one will be 210. And let's see where we're at. We're minus 990. Still haven't lost all of our startup fund, but it's getting close. That one didn't hurt us there. So we're going to spin again. Okay, it's time to bet again. So we're going to go 210. Okay, we got one win. Waiting for these consecutive wins. Okay, we got another one. Okay, another one. We just keep rebetting until we get back or we lose. Okay, we got it. Alright, we're finally getting on a streak. And we need one more. If we were to lose this one, we'd have to go to 230 though. But we got it. So finally, after all that waiting, we're on a streak, and then you can go back to 10 and start over again. So that was a pretty rough ride, but I hope you enjoyed the recap of the Joe and Barnes system. We did make it back, but man, that was some bad luck today. But I hope you enjoyed watching how to come back from adversity like that, and the importance of having a large startup fund and starting as small as possible, like all roulette systems. And if you have a system you'd like to share, I would love to see it and showcase it on the channel. That would be fantastic. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit the red subscribe button in the lower right hand corner. Also ring that bell for notifications because I have new content releasing every single day of the week at 8 a.m. This is the Roulette Master, and have a great day.